Right, we are back. Sorry about the issues there, just had to reinstall Twitch because it's been playing up. So this week, I'm XRL Fiend, I'm joined by IPR.
Hello there. Let's hope it all works. But as I said before, you couldn't hear me, but looking forward to today's race. There we go, it's working. Yeah, looking forward to today's
Good.
race. Fairly interesting track, Britain. One of the more classics, obviously. But I think it has a lot of different types of corners and is good for both quali and race. So looking forward to what the drivers are able to do today.
Yeah, definitely. It should be an interesting race. Looks so far to be dry in qualifying. Strategy is a lot simpler than you would expect as well for Britain. So it just depends on safety cars and whatever else can happen in the race. At the minute, XRL Edgar is in P1 with a 127.5, and the 8 drivers set a lap so far. And as you just saw on stream there, going wide on cops, the game does not invalidate you for doing that. You won't get a warning in the race for doing that, but it really should. Prudish has just gone purple in Sector 2 as well, after invalidating his first lap. Let's ride on board with him around the last couple of corners. He goes P4 with a 127.9. Now XRL Asda goes P6 with a 127.5 as well. And Jevis John has just started a lap. Next to cross the line will be Pelly, who will be beginning his lap. Then Asmo just starting his lap as well, same with Dino. Then we have Mr. Anderson in the Haas. Second full-time race.
Asmo's round in the gravel.
Oh yeah, Asmo is round in the gravel. Unfortunately for him. Oh, Asmo slow again. Asda nearly 2/10 up on his time. Will he be able to keep that pace? Or even gain a bit more time? He will be able to gain just over half a second and do exactly the same time as Prudish. 127.985. Not every day do you see two drivers setting exactly the same lap time. We've just seen Dino go into P2 a 127.6. And Asmo, after that spin, beginning his second lap of Q1. Jebus John 6/10 up, not using any overtakes, or any ERS I should say. So probably going into the pits at the end of this lap. So then we shall have a look at... Who should we have a look at? Let's have a look at Torpedo's lap. See what he can do. So Edgar in first place at the minute has just retired from the session in the pit lane. Feels like he's done enough there to get through to Q2. XRL Pelly's gone up to second place as well. So the Ferrari's having a really good first qualifying session here at Silverstone. XRL Torpedo into 12th place.
Asmo trying to go for another lap, but he invalidated it right at the end, and he's just invalidated again there, so he's struggling.
Yeah, he'll have to go into the pits, change his tyres and refuel and then come back out before the end of the first qualifying session. Vertix in P5 coming around the final part of the track. Will he be able to improve? He will not. 0.166 seconds slower that lap. So Asmo invalidated, and so the next one along will be XRL Zola. So let's have a watch of him through Maggots and Beckett. Looks to be a lot going on in Sector 1 as well. A lot of cars near each other. XRL Zola does a 129.0, putting him into 14th place. So the only driver not to set a lap time yet is Smooth. And let's have a watch of him through Sector 2, Maggots and Beckett. How are you doing, Root Beer? Welcome to X2. Smooth goes into P7 with a 127.9. So that could well be enough to get him into Q2. Vertix has retired in the pit lane. And there goes the speed marker board. It was fun while it lasted. It's a bullseye. So Trey trying to improve on his lap time. Did a 129.3 in his first run. It's currently tenths up on his time. And he does improve with a 128.6, putting him into P12. And as soon as I say that, he drops down into 13th. So that's went quicker. Mr. Anderson has retired from the session. Yeah, only 50 seconds left, so not enough time to come out, do an out lap and a hot lap as well. So Asmo on a hot lap. Will he do enough to get into Q2?
Torpedo's off.
Torpedo is off track, yeah. So he'll be, and he's invalidated as well, so that'll be the end of qualifying for him. So I think that might be qualifying done.
I believe it is.
Yeah, Zola, it's Twitch being stupid. Or the app not working properly. Yeah, it is. It's annoying, but there's still lots of time in the race to be able to make up. Yeah, still loads of time to make up places in the race though. So Torpedo coming into the pits. The last driver to do so at the end of Q1. Yeah, when you race, there's got to be some luck there at any track. But we'll see what happens. Next week though, Hungary, you'll be wanting to do well there. Anyway, Q1. We've lost only 2 drivers here. We've lost XRL Torpedo and XRL Zola. At the top of the order, we have the 2 Ferraris, XRL Edgar with a 127.5 and XRL Pelly with a 127.5 also. Only 500ths in separating them. In fact, less than a tenth separates the top 3 drivers. XRL Edgar, Pelly and Prudish Medal. but we have lost Torpedo and Zolo. So drivers just starting to do their outlaps in Q2. Let's take a look at XRL Asda as he just comes up to finish his outlap. Interestingly, XRL Asda out on soft. The strategy round here is usually either a soft medium or a medium soft. So just a one-stop strategy here. Ride on board with XRL Asda as he finishes his first lap in Q2. There's a 1:28.4 on soft tyres. XRL Edgar's on medium tyres, so will he be able to get close to that? He will. He'll beat both Boothie and Asda's lap times and do a 1:27.9 to get him into a provisional pole position. Asmo on the soft tyres. Goes into 5th place, maybe made a mistake there. 1:49. Vertix with a 1:27.8 puts him into 1st place on soft tyres as well. Prudish maybe made a mistake as well, because 1:50 on softs is probably not where he would think he would be at this point in time. Mr. Anderson invalidated his lap on mediums as well. So let's have a watch of Jealous John. Jealous John goes into P5. Sorry about that. Jealous John goes into P5 with a 1:28.5. And Prudish has now done the fastest lap of the race, of the qualifying Q2 so far, with a 1:27.6. And XRL Pelly goes into P4 as well on mediums. Booty goes into the pits. Trey is on an outlap, and Vertix stays out, so let's see if he can improve. He was 2/10 up in Sector 2. He can improve very slightly to do a 1:27.8 exactly. Let's see if Mr. stays out. He does stay out. We'll set this lap time. Goes into P8 at 1:27.5.
Pardon me.
Waldo. Oh no. Oh, what happened there? Trey coming around the final corner. Goes into P10, so just on the edge there a little bit for him. We'll maybe want to improve to get into a bit of a better spot. Anderson 24 seconds up on his time. Excellent from him. Let's have a watch of Asmo then. See if he should be improving. Yeah, I missed what happened to Waldo on the stream, so that clip was very enlightening. So as normal, medium tyres goes round Copse corner and riding on board through Max and Beckett's. Round the final corner he goes. He goes into P6 of 128.3. Can Smooth on soft tyres match that or do any better? He can, a 128.1. He's into 4th position. So about 4 minutes left here in Was Prudish's time set on softs or mediums. I've got it set so it's the best tyre rather than the currently fitted, so it was on soft tyres. Edgar. Ellis Jackson can go into 10th, which pushes Mr. Anderson down into 11th. And a yellow flag. It's gone green again. It looked like it was on the pit exit. May have been Trey. And Dino goes into 4th place now, which pushes Ellis Jackson into the drop zone. On an outlap. Smooth. Not pushing. Careless looks like he's on another lap on these soft tyres. So let's have a watch. Let's see what happens. Careless can improve into P9 of 128.4. Still might not be enough though to get through to Q3 because Gusty's on a hot lap, Jebus John's on a hot lap, and Asda, Anderson and Trey are all on outlaps. So it might not be enough for him. And Vertix is on an outlap. He's on medium tyres, so maybe trying to improve on his time with a different tyre compound. Try and maybe change the strategy for his race a little bit. XRL Gusty then, currently in 13th. Final corner he goes into 5th position. That could be enough to get him into Q3. It's not guaranteed yet though, but that is a mistake from Trey. So Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson goes into P5 with a 128.0, so it looks like he is definitely safe now into Q3 on medium tyres. Next driver at risk is Boothie, and also Pelly and Smooth. They're the three drivers at risk here. If Asda, Careless and Trey all go quicker, can Asda can go into P2. Wow, what a lap from him. Can Careless improve on his time? Needs to beat a 128.1. He can't. A 128.4, so Careless is out in Q2, and the last driver now to cross the line in the bottom 5 is Trey, who abandons his lap and goes into the pits. So that looks like it's Q2 done.
Well, looking into Q3 ahead, I think we have, well, we're hopefully going to be having quite a close one. The whole of the top 5 really all within less than half a second together, so should be fairly close. So I think any of those top 5 could really have a good chance at taking pole position.
Yeah, at the minute it's anyone's guess who will be in pole position at the start of the race. So in Q2, find Waldo. Thank you, Zola, for the clip. Unfortunately, dying in Q2, so not set a lap time there. Trey in 14th, Careless Jackson 13th, Asmo 12th, and Boothie 11th. That's who we have lost in Q2. At the top, Prudish on the soft tyres of 127.6, Asda in second, and Jebus John in third.
Right, it looks like we have, I believe that is Edgar out of the pit lane first.
Yeah, Edgar and Dino very close to each other on the track, just coming out of the pits. Closely followed by Prudish.
Edgar letting Dino ahead of him there. Maybe trying to get a bit of a slipstream if you can.
Dino, first across the line to start his hot lap. So let's have a watch, see what time he can do. So Dino sets a 1:27.3, and Edgar just beats him by just over a tenth, a 1:27.2, and then Prudish goes into second with another 1:27.2, 8 thousandths of a second between the first and second so far. Gusty next across the line. Goes into fourth, a 1:28.3.
Very, very close between that top three.
Yeah, way too close for comfort for Edgar and Prudish. So watching XRL Pelly in the final sector, about to set his lap. XRL Pelly goes into fourth place, a 1:27.4. And Dino goes into the pits, followed by Edgar. Vertic's about to start his lap. Prudish stays out. Let's see if he can improve. Oh, he can improve. He does a 1:27.0. Gained about 2/10 on his previous lap there to put him into provisional pole. Really quick time from Prudish. But Smooth is about to go through Maggots and Beckett's on his first outlap of Q3. And now Smooth goes into fifth position with a 1:27.9, so a top 5 spot for him so far, but half a second behind the top 4 drivers. Vertix does a 1:27.8, putting him into fifth and pushing Smooth down into sixth. Mr. Anderson just going through Maggots and Beckett's. Closely followed behind actually by XRL Asda. So Asda might want to back off just very slightly here so that he doesn't get too close, so that he doesn't get too close to Anderson just in case. And Mr. Anderson goes into 7th place with a 1:28.0. Back with Smooth. Looks to be on a second lap, but goes into the pits. So then it's Vertix going slow down the straight. Pelly and Edgar both on outlaps. Is Mr. Anderson setting with the lap time? We'll find out very soon. When he gets to the end of Sector 2, we'll see if he's up or down this time. And Mr. Anderson is 2/10 up on his time. So as it stands, that would put him around 5th or 6th position. So he would gain an extra place. And Asda was maybe trying to get a bit of a toe there. And Anderson does go into 5th, but Asda takes his place. So Anderson down into 6th now. Went from 7th up to 5th, now into 6th. Asda goes into 6th position. Did Pelly improve on his lap time? I'm not sure, but he's still in 4th. But Edgar invalidated his lap. So unlucky from him. Prudish on his outlap as well now. Trying to improve on his 1:27.0. Maybe try and get into the 1:26s here. So XRL Pelly currently sitting in 4th place. Through Maggots and Beckett's he goes. Oh, he's invalidated. He was 3.5 up on his time, but XRL Pelly has invalidated his lap. Very unfortunate. XRL Dino maybe getting a little bit too close to Gusty, who is on the lap. I think Gusty has backed out there a little bit, so that Dino, who is on an outlap, can get started with his hot lap. Can Prudish then improve on his time? He's only 2/100ths up on his time so far. He's still sitting in P1 quite handily. And he does improve on his time, does get into the 1:26s. There's a 1:26.9, the only driver so far to do so. Next, so Vertix starting his lap. Edgar invalidated his lap, so will still be in 2nd place. Asda then. Can Asda improve? Asda goes into the pits. Next across the line will be Jebus John. So let's watch him. Jebus John then goes into P7 at the end of Q3. Next will be Dino, and then Gusty, and then Prudish. Dino goes into the pits. Gusty stays out. Prudish goes into the pits as well. Gusty stays in 10th place. Smooth. What can Smooth do? Smooth can go into P5 with a 1:27.4. Really good qualifying from him. Vertix has invalidated, so will stay in 9th. And that is XRL Edgar, who has spun. Lost his wing. He'll stay in 3rd. Going into the pits. Will be starting on the 2nd row of the grid, just behind his teammate. And the two Ferraris have split the Mercedes drivers here. Should be a really good battle. So here we are. There is your pole sitter Prudish medal. 74 with a 1:26.9. Just behind him is XRL Pelly. 600ths of a second between those two drivers, with a 1:27.0. Then it's XRL Edgar, 1:27.2. Dino sits in 4th, and that's your front two rows. Smooth in 5th. Asda in 6th, Mr. Anderson in 7th, Jebus John in 8th, Vertix in 9th, and XRL Gusty in 10th. I am just going to go for a break, and I will be back very soon. Right then. So just before the drivers get going, I would like to talk about the XRL sponsors. If you want any 3D printed sim racing add-ons for the Logitech and Fanatec products, such as the G29, the G920 and G923, and other accessories such as 3D printed tracks, have a look at ANSI 3D. www.ansi3d.com. And also CD keys for discounts and the latest games. And to know more about them, go and check out their products at cdkeys.com. And perfectly timed, the drivers have readied up. So, 5 lights. And the drivers are off. Prudish Medal and XRL Pelly get away. Prudish Medal and Pelly, will they be going side by side through turn 1? They will not. Prudish gets ahead of Pelly. The other two, Edgar and Dino, fighting side by side going into turn 2. Vertix goes ahead of Smooth, and Asmo goes ahead of Jeb, as Careless ahead of Boothie. There's the predicted pitch stop strategy on the screen as well. Medium soft or soft medium. Oh, Dino tries to go around the outside of Edgar, but can't quite do it. Or can he on the inside here? They're still side by side. Still side by side. Oh, let's have a ride on board with Dino then, as they go around Cots. Careless ahead of Boothie. Back of the grid. Asmo and Waldo fighting here. Waldo tries to go around the outside of Asmo and gets the job done. Asmo loses out to Careless Jackson as well. He pits, he may have damage actually. Asmo may have damage. He has pitted. Smooth, less than 2/10 behind Vertix. Tries to go around the inside of Vertix, and now round the outside of Vertix as well. Vertix just stays ahead. And also Gusty as well was trying to get past Smooth as well. So there were 3 cars battling there. And now Smooth and Vertix. Oh, and Vertix spins. That's a shame. They were going side by side for ever such a long time there. Spins out. So Waldo and Gusty. Waldo has a lot of speed, and Gusty and Waldo touch. Not sure if anyone got damage there, but Gusty is going down, and now he's got Careless Jackson to deal with. And Boothie as well. Side by side, Careless and Boothie. And Boothie gets the position from Careless. Careless and Boothie still about 4/10 between them. Behind them, Trey and Torpedo, about 3/10. 2/10 now between Torpedo and Trey. DRS enabled. Can Torpedo get close enough to have a look? Not quite. Let's stay with these two. Oh, and Torpedo around on the inside of Trey gets the position. Trey might be having another look, maybe not round here, not round the box. Trey slows down a little bit there, and Torpedo gets the position from Trey. Around Maggots and Beckett's Boothie and Careless. Boothie about 3/10, 4/10 behind Gusty. DRS open. Can he get close enough to have a look? No, he couldn't. Jebus John 3/10 behind Smooth. And Pelly with the fastest lap of the race. A 1 minute 30.1. These three drivers are fighting for 7th place. Smooth, Jebus and Fine Waldo. And Jebus John tries to go down the inside, gets the position, but Smooth coming back at him. These two drivers are side by side. And Smooth keeps the position. Fine Waldo just hanging back a little bit. And Waldo just having a little gander, seeing if he can spot an opportunity. Tried on board. Oh, and Fine Waldo overtakes Jebus John through Maggots and Beckett's. What an overtake. DRS enabled, and can Fine Waldo get close enough up, and Jebus even try and take the position back. And just behind them, Boothie takes the place from Gusty. Fine Waldo going to the inside. Jebus John goes back through. I think Fine Waldo let Jebus through there. Up at the front, Pelly only 4/10 behind Prudish, fighting for the lead here. On the inside, but can't get close enough to try and overtake. Oh, and that's Trey who's DNF'd, and there is a safety car. Safety car on lap 5 of the British Grand Prix here. Zola with a 3-second time penalty as well. So a few drivers are pitting now. Smooth going on to hards, the rest onto mediums. Vertix just coming into the pit. Oh, he's gone on softs for a second. He will go on to mediums as well. Zola pitted onto hard tyres just before the safety car. Asma onto mediums before the safety car as well. So just beginning lap 6 here, and there is a safety car. We get to see the Aston Martin safety car today. Just being added into the game. This has. So nice to see it on show. drivers just catching up to the safety car. And Zola goes into the pits from the hard tyres. Is he trying a medium here? Or even just mediums? Strange things have happened here in XRL. But XRL Zola on fresh medium tyres. Stranger things have happened. I mean, it's not too difficult to get to the end on mediums. I mean, they go about 15 laps, and we'll have this lap under safety car. So that would be about 18 laps on mediums instead of 15. So you're only taking it three more. Let's have a look. The fastest laps then. So currently fastest lap is Fine Waldo in 13th with a 1:30.0. Inside of the top 10 looks to be XRL Pelly with a 1:30.093. We're very close there in that battle. Only two drivers with time penalties, both of those are 3 seconds. And pit stops, so 10th down has done at least one pit stop, everyone else hasn't. But the safety car is in this lap, so let's stay on with Prudish Medal, who's slowed the pack right down here, going about 50 miles an hour. Less than 50, about 40 miles an hour now. Moving up to 60 miles an hour. And he's gone. So Prudish has gone now, just as they go into the final corners of the lap. So a good restart there from Prudish means that he's already got a 1.4 second lead. But Edgar and Pelly, teammates, could be fighting. Could be fighting for second place. Dino back in third, only less than a couple of tenths between Torpedo and Careless Jackson. Torpedo tries to go around the outside. Oh, just finds a little gap there to be able to stay on the outside of the LP. And now they are side by side. Careless still has the position, but Torpedo doesn't really want to give it up. It's still side by side, and Asda could be having a look now. Asda could be having a look at the Alpine. The Torpedo gets 8th place, but now Asda trying to have a look at Careless Jackson for 9th place. The gap at the front already 2 seconds in 2 sectors, so really, really good restart from the leader. Asda and Careless. Asda just can't get close enough to try the overtake. A little bit further down the order, Vertix and Asmo. Only 3 tenths between those, and only a couple of... Oh, Jebus John is off the track. Is all the way down to 16th place. Unlucky for him. And there's a yellow flag as well. It's XRL Pelly. XRL Pelly has gone off track. He's back on in 14th. XRL Asda still only less than 2/10 behind Careless. Let's stay with these with Asda around sector 2. Starting next lap, DRS will be activated once again. Mazda still behind Careless. Just a little bit further back. Vertex. There's a huge train here. Huge train for 8th place. All these drivers. Oh, sorry, for 7th place, so Torpedo. Really holding, really playing defensive, trying to keep as many points as he possibly can. He's got so many drivers behind him, wanting those points. DRS. Both drivers having DRS. Can Asda make the move on the inside of Careless Jackson? He's trying. He can make it. Or can he? Because now Careless Jackson trying to fight back. Asda takes the place. So Asda up into 8th, Careless down to 9th. Next up for Asda is Torpedo. Oh, and what's happened here? Torpedo off track. Ooh, Vertex locking up in this contact. Contact between Asmo and Torpedo. All over the back of Vertex, round the inside, takes 8th place from Careless Jackson. Careless slots in behind. The gap at the front now 4.6 seconds. Prudish really making his mark here. The British Grand Prix, Mr. Anderson with DRS. Indeed, can't quite get there. Oh, and Anderson gets a time penalty. The final corner. And Gusty goes into the pits. Pits from soft tyres. Asmo 4/10 behind Torpedo. Oh, what's happened to Torpedo? Torpedo spun. Torpedo spun again. Tyres must be too warm. Torpedo down in 13th. Vertex only 6/10 behind. Waldo only 3/10 behind. the Magnussen Beckett's open DRS and try and find a way past Asda. Mr. Anderson, half a second behind. Very close now to Dino. Gets past Dino before the braking zone. Up into third place is Mr. Anderson. And Waldo still 3/10 behind Asda. Asda doing a good job of defending. So Mr. Anderson goes into third place. We can maybe start to think about catching the cars ahead, but Dino's still right on his tail here. Dino maybe trying to get back the position that he lost. And he's trying, and he does get back third place. So Dino back into third now, Mr. Anderson back into fourth. Boothie very close to Mr. Anderson as well. In fifth place. And fine, Waldo got past Asda, so Waldo is up into sixth. Asda into seventh. Oh, Boothie having a look on the inside of Mr. Anderson, and Pelly span! Oh, and there's big contact. Big contact there between... Oh, big contact between Pelly, and Pelly retired from the session. Wheel off, Pelly is out of the race. Big contact between Boothie, Pelly, and I'm not sure who the third driver was. But the safety car is out on lap 14 of 26. So with the safety car out, Prudish pits, Ed onto soft tyres, Edgar pits, Dino pits, Mr. Anderson pits, Boothie pits, Careless Jackson pits, Asmo pits, and so does Smooth. So Waldo and Asda both stay out on Old Hearts, so does Vertix actually. Torpedo goes into the pits. Zola pits, Torpedo pits. Gusty stays out. Just recently went onto those medium tyres. So Prudish down into fourth place, but drivers ahead of him all still need to pit. So he should still be leading this race once those drivers do pit. But Edgar onto hards. Whether he didn't have any soft tyres available, let's have a look at what he started on actually. Now, he started on medium, so I'm surprised at him not going on to softs there, unless he didn't have any available to him. But Interesting decision there by Edgar. Behind him, Dino. Some soft tyres, and then Careless Jackson in 7th. After pitting, Mr. Anderson goes from 4th down to 8th. Oh, and what's happened here? Dino letting Edgar pass. I'm not sure what's happened here, but Dino is letting Edgar past. I believe they were ahead beforehand anyway, so... Not too much in that. In fact, nothing in that at all. Nothing at all. Jonas John has a chance now to catch up to the pack. Catch up to everyone and maybe get something from this race. With 11 laps to go. On lap 15 of 26. Unless, actually, Waldo Asda and Vertix all try to go to the end, but for a tyre that only does 15 laps, an extra 5 is a lot. It is a lot, so... So here's your leader. Find Waldo. Time penalties are on screen now. Few drivers with 3 and one with 6. Pit stops are on the screen now as well. So everybody has done at least one pit stop now. And position changes. Find Waldo, 14 positions gained. Very, very strong race from him so far. Zola gaining 4 as well. Careless Jackson gaining 3 and Vertix. Careless Jackson gaining 6 and Vertix gaining 3. Asda's gained 4 places as well. A solid race from him so far. He's been racing well this weekend. Safety car should be in this lap as well. All the drivers have caught up now. So XRL Waldo can controlling the restart then is Find Waldo. And he's gone. Find Waldo's gone. Behind him, XRL Asda, Vertix in 3rd. Prudish very close to Vertix. Prudish trying to go round the inside, sorry. And now the outside. Oh, wheels have touched. Wheels have touched between these two. And Prudish gets a 3-second time penalty, but does get past. Vertix having a look. And Vertix was very slow around the corner. Looked like for a second he was going to go straight on. Meilu's out to Dusty as well. And he does, yeah. Not sure whether Vertix has any damage, but the wheel's definitely touched. Okay, so here is XRL Dino. Very close to XRL Edgar. And also Careless Jackson as well, trying to get involved. 3 wide, nearly. And both drivers get around. There was contact. Contact between Careless Jackson and Dino. Careless Jackson down into 6th position, loses out to Asma. And Edgar goes into the pits as well now. So maybe he did have damage. Maybe he did get damage. Yeah, they're changing his wing. Careless Jackson and Mr. Anderson side by side. Boothie's got past Gusty. Still. Oh, in fact, all of these drivers are side by side here. Boothie with a 3-second time penalty. Mr. Anderson 4/10 behind Careless Jackson. Still down to 2/10 now actually. DRS is enabled, so he's got DRS wide open to have a look down the inside of Careless Jackson. Careless and Anderson side by side. Excellent racing here. Still side by side. And Anderson gets the position. Or maybe not, because Careless is now side by side with Boothie going through Maggots and Beckett's. And Careless goes down to 8th, Anderson into 6th, and Boothie into 7th. What racing. And Jebus John and XRL Zola fighting fighting for 11th place. Jebus is just taking position from Zola there. And we have a yellow flag. It's Vertix who's into the barrier. Vertix and Maggots just before Maggots and Beckett's goes into the barrier. Will definitely have got damage there. Prudish medal. Looking to get back his first place, and he does so with ease. So Prudish back into first after pitting during the safety car. Find Waldo trying to stick with him here. And Vertix now with a 5-second time penalty. Speeding in the pit lane. Just a little bit further back, Boothie and Anderson. About 4/10 between them. Let's start on board with Boothie. Round the outside of Mr. Anderson. Takes 6th place. Careless as well is very close to smooth. Mr. Anderson is only 3/10 behind Boothby, trying to get back his 6th position. Anderson having a look on the outside, but not quite close enough to get the position. Dino in 4th place, fighting for 3rd here from Asda. Only half a second behind, and we have a yellow flag. Vertex retiring from the session. Looks like he's just off track, but you never know with this game whether it could be a safety car. Let's try on board with Edgar for a second, see if we can see his car. Yeah, it's over there. So he's well off track, so shouldn't really be a safety car. Indeed it isn't. So Dino very close to Asda. Prudish and Waldo still fighting here. Prudish took back 1st place actually, which I missed. So these two really battling it out for the win. Asda and Dino battling it out for 3rd place. Dino takes 3rd place from Asda. And just behind them, Asmo, Anderson and Boothby fighting for 5th place with about 3 laps left here. Absolutely flown by. And Asda's retaken the 3rd place. Asda retook 3rd place from Dino. Neither driver has DRS. And Dino takes the position back. Dino takes the position back from Asda, whose tyres are 16 laps old. The strategy here was if you start on mediums, you pit lap 15, so he's already done 1 lap over that, and he's still got about 3 laps left. So does Waldo as well, who's in 2nd place and has DRS on Prudish medal. These two are battling it out as well, so Prudish and Waldo fighting it out for the win. A little bit further back, Jevis John, Gusty and Careless fighting for 9th. Jevis John side by side with Gusty for 10th place. Jevis John takes the position and then loses it straight back. And these two still side by side. Oh, and there's big contact. Big contact between Gusty and Jevis John there. And a 3-second time penalty to boot. Gap at the front now, 9/10. Over a second now at the front. Anderson and Asmo trying to battle their way into 5th place, which is currently held by Boothby. Zola as well, 2/10 behind Torpedo. Both of these two fighting for 11th place. Let's go back with Anderson then as they go into the DRS zone. Anderson using every last bit of his ERS to try and get as close to Asmo as he possibly can. But he just can't get close enough. Around about 2 laps left to go here. Oh, Zola and Torpedo are very, very close, side by side in fact. And Zola gets through into 11th place. Johnson, 3/10 is the gap. 2/10 now is the gap. Can he get into 6th place? Yes, he can. Very nice overtake there. Takes the position from Asmo. Front, Waldo. And Prudish Medal fighting for the win. Jebus John just comes out of the pits onto soft tyres, trying to get the fastest lap of the race. Currently sitting in 14th place. And there is a yellow flag. Looks like Mr. Anderson, maybe, but he's down in 8th place now. And back with the leaders as they're on the final lap of this race. Let's just have a quick look at time penalties. Oh, Mr. Anderson off track again. So all drivers in the top 10, I believe it was in the top 10 with 3 seconds. Apart from Zola, who has 6. So time penalties won't be a factor here. So all these drivers are fighting now for positions. Torpedo takes back 10th place from Zola on screen, off screen. So it's now or never then for Waldo. Can he try and overtake Prudish? As they come round the final corners of this race, Jebus John retires from the session on the final lap. But Prudish Medal wins the British Grand Prix, followed by Find Waldo. Boothie and Asda swapping round at the end there. Asda last lap for Asda, but 7th place is still points. 7th place is still points. Boothie in 4th, Asmo 5th, Smooth 6th. XRL Zola will come round in 9th, will he? No. We'll let Torpedo take the place. So he'll let Torpedo take 10th place. Edgar in 12th, and Mr. Anderson, really unfortunate, last couple of laps just. Oh, okay. So it's his. Oh, okay. So you just gave him the place back. That's cool. The in-game driver of the day, Find Waldo. And here is your winner of the race. So here he is, your winner, Prudish Medal. Wins the race. Find Waldo started 15th, finishes in 2nd place, and gets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:28.6. Really amazing race from him today. XRL Dino in third. Boothie in fourth. Really, really good showing from him. Races usually in X3 and is reserving today in X2, so really good race from him. Asmo in 5th, Smooth 6th, Asda 7th, Careless Jackson 8th, Gusty 9th, Torpedo 10th, XRL Zola 11th, XRL Edgar 12th, Mr. Anderson 13th, Jebs John 14th. Unfortunately, Vertix, Pelly and Trey all DNF'd. Fastest lap outside of the top 10 then is XRL Edgar with a 1:29.0, so he will get an extra point along with Fine Waldo for the fastest laps of the race, inside and outside the top 10, and Prudish Medal for getting pole position will get an extra point as well. And there we are. That is X2, round 8, Britain. Done. Dusted. Next week is Hungary in XRL. And I have been XRL Fiend. I was joined in qualifying by IPR. Hope he gets well soon. He had to leave early. We'll both be here next week though. Same time for X2. Thanks for watching, guys.